Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin, Master Certified Life Coach and Mindset Coach.
I'm Sandra Priestley, and I'm a business and branding coach. And I'm toying with a name change again. I don't know why I commit to one name change
Yeah,
because I like to change it up, but
we evolve.
I know we should. And I really feel like more of what I'm doing is empowerment in all areas,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Anyway, so for right now, I'm a business and branding coach. I might be an empowerment coach later. I don't
Hey,
know. We'll see. But
well, I need to add hypnotherapy to my title somewhere. I just haven't gotten creative
ooh,
enough because I
yes.
just submitted my very last quiz.
Yay.
Ah.
So
So,
excited.
one certification down. I'll start the next one in 2 days.
Mhm. Yeah,
And then when
I
I
love it.
knock that master, it's the master hypnotherapy class.
Yeah,
Once I finish that, I'm moving into NLP. Got
you'll
two
love it.
classes. I
You'll
know.
love the NLP too. Like it's just so good.
And then after that, there's a cognitive behavior therapy course that I'm going
Nice.
to take.
Good for you.
So I've got a good another year
So
of
you can
learning.
you can do all the things to fix me right up.
Lots of magic.
I am so excited to talk today to tell everyone what happened to me and how you
Yeah.
coached me through it and the things that I came to. So,
Uh-huh.
but first, I'm just
Yes.
drinking bubbly again, just
Okay.
plain old sparkly flavored
Buble. What
water.
flavor?
Yeah. Today again is raspberry.
Okay. I
I
saw some and I
feel
almost picked that up.
of the raspberry, it's
Hmm.
really good. I like raspberry. I also am a fan of the lemon or the lime one too. So I don't
Okay.
know. I feel like raspberry with a lime squeeze is the answer.
Oh,
Yes.
there you
What are
go.
you drinking today?
Well, I'm drinking out of a can because I promised you I would last week.
Good.
So I've got this little number. It
Ooh,
is
it's a
a
Paloma.
Paloma and it is called a Gazadores.
Okay.
I don't know, but
Is
it's a
it
Paloma.
non-alcoholic or alcoholic?
I think it's alcohol. I'm pretty sure it's alcohol.
I had a football watch party.
I think it's got tequila in it.
Nice. I had a football watch party on the past weekend. My son was playing in Calgary, and I I go to most of the games. Like out of the 8 season games, I am going to 6 this year. So Calgary is one that I opted out to travel to. And so I had a watch party here so we could watch him. And um, I had some alcoholic drinks and then I had some non-alcoholic drinks. And my mom brought a non-alcoholic lime margarita, and
Oh.
it was super limey. And the first
Mhm.
taste is almost shocking. And then after that, it's like, oh, this is really good. Like when I took the first sip, I thought this would be good with some tequila.
Right.
But after you take a first few sips, it was really tasty. Oh,
Nice.
also in a can.
Love the
Anyway,
can.
I know. I don't know why, but is are cans easier maybe to compact and
I don't
reuse?
know because now I associate them with you. So I'm like, oh, I get to drink out of a can.
Sandra, yay. Well,
Okay,
this is for is
let's
me for you. So I don't know, but
let's jump
a
in.
special I want to tell everyone
Okay.
what an exciting day I've had. And it started out, well, we talked about the planets in retrograde, like there are 7 planets in retrograde. In my newsletter that I wrote, I said, there's so much nastiness about the planets, and I always choose to believe that it's almost just like a volcano. Things erupt that
Mhm.
were under the surface anyway. We
Yeah.
were just avoiding them or not seeing that they were there, but they were causing problems. It's like they were sitting in the shadows and they erupt so that we can evolve because of them. So I don't necessarily think that anything is bad. I don't like to say any, fearful stuff of feng shui either.
Right.
And So I just believed that, this would happen for us.
Mhm.
But when I wrote that email, I thought, but I'm kicking ass through this. I've not
Mhm.
had any upsets. I've had brand new clients come to me that I am in love with. Like everything is, I'm killing it. I'm killing it. Thank you, universe. Thank you, God. Thank you, all my angels.
Mhm.
And then, wham, a bus hit me in the side when I was not looking.
Mm.
And I realized I too am needing to evolve. And
Yeah.
so, while I would share if the situation is about me, it's not about, it's about a family member. So I'm not going to share this situation, but it's not really important, I guess. But what was important was a couple of things. First off, when it happened, I felt the fear. I got this phone call and I could feel the fear way, way up, like upper chest towards my throat. And I have learned that if I lose it, I've fucking lost it. Like
Mhm.
it's hard to get back. So when I
Right.
felt that fear, I stayed in awareness. P.S. I mean, this is massive shift from where I was several years
Oh, yeah.
ago,
Yeah.
where I will let this thing fly. But like I could feel it and went, not today, motherfucker. You're not going to get me. But it still was up there. I could feel it.
Mhm.
And in the moment of crises, I feel like I'm pretty good, especially when I'm managing, I'm aware that it's there. What happened was I needed to call you because I was going in and out of crazy town. I was like, I was good. And then I started telling stories. I was
Mhm.
good. And then I started telling myself all of these things, these situations. And so I
All the
reached out
what
to
ifs
all the what
and
ifs
not
and
the
I was trying
happy
to
what
solve
ifs.
them, not the
The
happy what ifs,
worst case scenario, which
all the
is
worst case
even
scenarios.
really out of the realm of possibility on some of them.
Oh, yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, one of my favorite quotes is, I don't even know if it's a famous quote, but it's the quote of a grandmother of a curler that I read one day when I was sitting in a curling bonspiel. And it said 99% of the things that you worry about never happen.
Mhm.
Um, okay. So then why are we worrying about them, right? It's because we get to this place of trying to keep ourselves safe.
Mhm.
And so if we can worry about all of the stupid crap, all of the potential pitfalls and solve them, we can stay safe.
Yeah,
But I knew I
but no.
was, I convinced myself that my default was that process, that fear.
Mhm.
And I knew, I was aware that I was doing it. I was trying to keep it, like I still hadn't lost my mind, but
Yeah.
I knew that I kept trying to go there. I knew that I kept this, like there was this pull for me to get
Mm.
out of the vortex and into this like pit of snakes
Yeah.
of fear and stories.
Mhm.
And so I reached out to you and I think I said something like, okay, I need coaching.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Yeah.
Because just because we are coaches and just because we can sit outside of the situation of the person that we're coaching and the person that we're sitting in front of, or our friends or family, doesn't mean that we can do it for ourselves. We're not always perfect.
Mm-mm. And sometimes we
And
need reminders like,
yeah,
let's look at what's real for a minute. Can you do that with me?
what's real?
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I reached out to you, and thankfully, we have this deal where I don't have to pay you. But
Oh, you do pay me. Maybe not with money, but yeah, there's
but
payout.
I I just wanted to say I loved our conversation so much, and I wish that I had written more down
I almost
because
wanted to record it. but it was on the phone. So I was like,
I was
I
in the
don't know how to.
bathtub.
Yeah.
No one wants to see that YouTube.
No, no,
Like,
no. I just meant our voices.
oh, okay. All right. That was a good idea. But I did write a few things down. But one of the things that I was saying was, I was talking about this. This is a situation that's happening right now with my son. And I said to you, I was just saying how I said to you that I think I said I was proud of him, but I actually said how in awe
Mhm.
of him I was.
Yeah.
I was watching him navigate serious situations. I was watching him navigate really busy schedules. I was watching him navigate some things with grace and ease, power, and like this, like, I don't know, maturity that I feel I had not noticed before. Or it's like he just came into his own in a way.
Yeah.
And so I was just saying how in awe I was. And then this situation popped up where I started telling stories. And you said to me, do you remember what you said to me?
Yes, I do. What has changed?
What has changed?
Mhm.
And I just went, what the hell? Nothing.
I could hear it in you when I asked you that question.
My voice changed.
You had a shift because you realized in that moment that
Yeah.
nothing had changed.
It was so true.
Yeah.
It was so true. And I realized, like, I went from real, what is real now,
Mhm.
to, I don't know, why is this situation popping up for him to deal with? Like, why is this happening? And he must have done something, or
His
you know,
fault.
right.
I was a
Like,
better mother. This never would
and
have happened.
what did I do? Like, wow, how is this somehow my fault? Because
Yeah.
if I make it my fault, then I can fix it.
Mm.
And in the end, it's not like it, he's still that same person. I'm still in awe. And
Yeah.
I can now sit back and be in awe of how he's navigating this tough situation, and it's all good.
Mhm.
But in the moment, I needed that like energetic kick in the crotch from you to say, well, wait, what the fuck? What has changed?
Mhm.
And of course, it was nothing. It was just external situations that we can't control.
Mhm. Yep.
Nothing to do with, like, we can't control.
Mm.
So I thought that that was so amazing, because I think we often flip flop, and I see myself on this roller coaster sometime of so proud, what the fuck,
Yeah.
so proud, what the fuck,
Because
right? But
when
that's just growth.
oh, absolutely. But once we look at the pattern and say, oh, a pattern is I'm only proud when they're behaving this way.
Right.
They are who they are at their core, no
Mhm.
matter if they happen to be behaving properly in the moment or properly according
Yeah.
to us.
Well, and
And that's conditional.
and we all make mistakes. Exactly. And we all make mistakes, and we
All of
all,
us.
but I
Yeah.
mean, the thing is too, as I was saying to a client of mine, these opportunities give us, these challenges give us practice,
Mhm.
opportunities to practice at our next level,
Yeah.
opportunities to
Yeah.
practice managing tough times
Mhm.
for later, when we might or may not need them, or when we may need to support someone else through them.
Yeah.
I mean, I sat there and thought, oh my gosh,
Mhm.
of course,
And do you
nothing
remember
has
what you said to me?
about what? I said a lot of things.
I cannot solve
Oh,
imaginary problems.
yes, I know. I feel like that should be bumper stickers, or I don't know,
Something.
t-shirts.
Yeah. A mug.
Sandra says, Sandra says. And, but it's
Oh,
so
that's
true, because that's what I was doing, right? You say it in a term of like, but you're making up stories. You're telling yourself stories. What stories are you creating? Tell stories that you want.
right. Mhm.
And I was massively creating stories, but not of what is. I
No.
was creating imaginary problems,
Yeah.
and then I was trying to solve them.
Uh-huh.
But that is seriously,
Because
that
it's
is
a dopamine hit.
right.
Yeah.
And it's survival.
Mhm.
And that is like trying to hit a fly with a fucking nail gun. You're not going to do it, because every single time I came up with some imaginary situation that then, how am I going to navigate this? What would I do? What do I, when I create the response,
Yeah.
the fly fucking moves. Like then it's like, oh no, whoops, tricked ya. Here's another one. You're not going to get this one. Like it is like this weird conversation in my brain of, here's a problem. Nope, fooled ya. It's this one. It's worse. And the
Oh, but
more,
wait, I can make it worse. Let's see what
yeah,
else can happen.
yes. And the longer I stayed there, the crazier the problems became,
Oh,
the
yeah.
crazier the scenarios in my mind came. And then all of a sudden it was like, I can't solve that.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know what I would
doomed.
do if someone bombed my house.
Yeah.
Like,
Bomb's coming.
it just becomes insanely ridiculous,
Yeah.
to the point where at some point along that trajectory of bullshit, I should have thought, wait a minute, none of these situations could potentially happen. But when you go down the rabbit hole, they all feel real.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And
they're
I
not.
just,
And
yeah,
our bodies and our brains do not know the difference between it actually happening to us, that it's real, or that it's just a fucked up story we're telling.
it's
And
true.
our body responds as if what we're telling it is real. And it preps us for more things that feel like that.
Yes,
And that's where we lose our minds, because then
exactly.
the shit starts really showing up in real life.
Yes,
And
yes.
then we're going, oh my God, why is all this happening to me? And
Yeah.
we are victims, but it's
Mhm.
our thoughts and our focus that brought
Right.
us there.
Yeah.
And when we learn, and like you texting me today, I'm so glad you did, because it
Well,
shows
he's
like,
gonna get a badass podcast out of it too.
oh, well, there's that. Yeah. But being able to go, whoa, 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 I'm out of control right now. I need someone to bring me back to center. Because when I got on the phone with you, I was expecting you to be in much worse shape than you were. When
Ooh, this is progress.
Yeah,
Good.
when you got on the phone, and I was like, well, shit, she sounds pretty good. And you're
Mm,
telling me about what's going on, and I'm like, that's not really a problem.
mhm.
I mean, yeah, it's a pain in the ass, and yeah, I can see some fear there, but
Yeah.
she's badass. He's badass. They're going to get through this just fine, but they're going to learn some things that they need to know, and
Yeah.
maybe that will help other people, but it will for sure help them with
Yes.
the next little thing that pops up. But you were so close to that edge when we got on
Right.
the phone.
And I feel as though, like I said to you too, like yesterday when I got on the phone, I could feel it. I could
Mhm.
feel like I physically could feel the fear in my body rise up to the top of my chest.
Yeah.
And I did not let it go up here, because when it feels like it's up into my thoughts,
Oh,
that's the problem.
that's when it gets
That's
a
when
hold.
it's uncontrollable, and it's really hard to get out of that. I mean,
Yeah.
I can, but it takes a lot longer. It's like,
Yeah.
the quicker you recognize you're not in a good state, and the quicker you take action to change your thoughts in whatever way, whether it's calling a coach, whether it's journaling, like whatever works for you. I personally like coaching, because I think it helps me with my blind spots. When
Mhm.
you said, but what has changed?
Mhm.
I went, shit, that's my blind spot for sure. Nothing
Yeah.
has changed. He's going to rock this. This is fine.
Mhm.
Why am I creating this
And this is
mess?
not a reflection of you as a mother or a
No,
person.
nor him.
No.
Nor him.
Mm-mm.
And I think that this was the thing that I needed. I needed the perspective on. So, I mean, when I first got on the call with you, I felt like I wasn't frantic, which is that what you thought that I would be? Like, that's how
Oh
you
yeah.
felt?
I was expecting you to
Frantic.
be,
This
yeah.
is not fucking good.
So like
Like, call the
we
police.
were out running around. I came home. I had some water. I
Yeah.
had something to eat really quickly because I was at that hunger point where I was like
Yeah.
shaking because I was so
Yeah.
hungry.
Right.
And because I wanted to be level when I
Mhm.
talked to you, because I was anticipating that you were kind of far off that ledge. And then you get on the phone and I was like, oh, she just needs to take a
Yeah.
step over here. Like it's not far at
Right.
all.
And that's, I mean, all of my mindset work. And I don't even remember what I said to you, but you know, if I reach out, usually it does feel like it's disastrous. But in this case, it was, I knew, I just knew there was something that you would say that would flip the switch so that then I was able to regulate a little bit more. It was
Yeah.
like I was able to regulate myself to a place where I was cozy, but not badass. And
Okay.
I knew I couldn't flip it. I couldn't get
Mm,
out of cozy, like cozy in this destructive kind of a way, but not a
yeah.
worst case
Yeah.
scenario.
Yeah.
I knew I was aware. I just couldn't flip myself
Mhm.
to badass.
And that's why we all need a coach.
That's why, because when I got on the phone with you, I think I didn't feel frantic, but I did feel calmly subdued. Maybe
Yeah.
it was like not badass. Whereas
Mm.
now, and I could not have done a podcast in that energy.
Uh-uh.
In fact, I wanted to record another podcast for my own personal one today, and I thought, nope, not today. Can't do it. Can't do it. But then in a 30-minute call, how long did we have?
45
A
minutes.
45-minute call.
Mhm.
And we had some other chatter too, but like in a 45-minute call, I am now like, hear me roar.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it doesn't take long because all everything is mindset.
Everything. And you, at the end of our call, you brought up and you called it something, a switch, a
Trip
trigger,
switch.
a trip switch.
I trip switch.
And you asked me, what's your trip switch? God, that's
Mm-hmm.
hard to say.
Yeah.
And I was like, judgment. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing,
Yeah.
my baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
We were working through, and she's like, but what will people think? And I was like, honey, that is
Yeah.
mine. That
Yeah.
is not yours. But I
Yeah.
see you going down the same, that was the same thing for you, where now you
Judgment.
can recognize, oh,
Mm-hmm.
oh, right now I have this fear of what will people think? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. But I also think that, you know, I think we come by those trip switches honestly.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel as though, like, I can tell you the first time I feel like it tripped, and maybe there was an earlier time, I'm not sure. And I think I might have talked about this one on the podcast before because, you know, we've done almost 100 episodes.
I know.
Um, but it was a time in grade 4 where
Mhm.
I was sitting with my social exams. The teacher was going to hand them out. And I was always a straight A student, and she skipped over me. They went in alphabetical order. And she called me up to the front of the class. And I had got like a 50 or 48 or something. I think it was like 50. And she said, what is going on in your home for you to get this mark? And handed me, like, this is the way that I remember it. Anyway,
Yeah.
handed me this like paper, the big, huge, like
Big
50
red
circled in it in
marks
red.
and yeah.
And in my mind, I felt this like she outed me as a child of an alcoholic. And I thought, what will people think of me?
Mm,
And will they judge me unfairly? And will they think I am like a loser? Will they think I am low
mm.
life? Will they think I'm trailer trash? Will they think, I mean, I don't live in a trailer. I didn't, not that
Things
that's,
our minds will,
but like
yeah,
it was like I felt she outed me and everyone was going to judge me falsely,
yeah.
like assume I was one thing that I was not. And what was interesting was that was my trip switch. My
Hmm.
trip switch was activated for this situation today. And so I'm kind of toying with this theory because I've seen it over and over and over and
Hmm.
over again with my clients.
Yeah,
It's all mine. I have not read it anywhere, which lots of stuff, we take and we twist. But
sure.
this was like, it's all mine.
Yeah.
And I thought, shit, I watched Cam in the exact same situation, and his trip switch is money.
Hmm.
And he comes by it honestly too, like
Yeah.
situations in his past. And so it's like, this is going to cost me money. And I
Mm.
thought, why the fuck are we going there? Who gives a shit about the money?
Yeah.
Like,
We'll make
I'm
more
worried about the
money.
judgment. The
Yeah.
judgment is it matters.
Yeah.
And money doesn't matter. And he's like, who fucking cares about the judgment? Like, what about the money? How much is this going to cost us money? What do we have to do here? My other clients have trip switches well, I have one client that her trip switch is money. Another one, her trip switch is rejection. And it's interesting
Mm.
because when rejection comes in for her, even when it's like she's experiencing a situation with her children, and she fears that her children might be rejected in some way, loses it. It's like when the trip switch flips, it's the emotional regulation is more difficult. And you start to, your whole body and your mind starts to go into safety mode. What do I need to do to keep safe?
Mhm.
How do I have to function to keep safe? How
Fight
many
or
imaginary
flight.
stories do I have to nail with this friggin' nail gun? Like,
Yeah.
I need to panic. I need to problem solve my imagination. And no matter how wild it gets, I'm going to go there because I'm emotionally dysregulated
Yeah.
because my trip switch has been flipped.
But once we identify it and
Oh yeah.
we question it and we
Mm-hmm.
go, huh, where did I
Yeah.
pick that up? What did that teacher mean? Did she say your father was an alcoholic? No.
Yeah.
Was it a nice thing to say to a child? No, absolutely
Not
not.
appropriate, but like, hey,
But
it
to
was
think
19.
you're
We did things
fifth,
differently.
it's true. But for you to pick that up and carry it
Mm-hmm.
into 51 years of life
Right?
seems a little silly when you think about it. I
Right.
mean, I think about things that really shaped the way I saw myself and thought about myself from comments that were made about me as a child.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I took them so seriously and I believed them, even though they were
Yeah.
complete nonsense bullshit. But I
Yeah.
said, okay, they have more authority than I do. I'm a kid. What the fuck do I know? So
Yeah.
this must be true. And I
Yes.
carried some of those things until I realized, is this shit? This is not even me. And
Yeah.
set it aside.
Yeah.
But I still find stuff today, Sandra. It's not
Oh, I
like
know.
I have woken up one day and said, oh, they're all gone. I think
Well,
that's why I keep learning.
it's like grief. It sneaks up on you when you're
Uh-huh.
not
Yeah.
expecting it, right?
Yeah.
Almost like when you're kind of lulled into this. Because remember earlier, I was like, I am killing it. Everyone else is getting fucked right up because of these retrograde
Uh-huh.
planets.
Mm-hmm.
And So, I'm going to support them and I'm going to help them. I'm going to help them see like where the gift is. Like, and what I said just the other day was like, this, believe it or not, is a gift. It is absolutely wrapped in sandpaper. You are rubbing it on your ass,
It's covered
and
in
it's
dog shit. Don't
covered
forget
in
the dog
dog
shit
shit.
part.
It is like, it is the worst present ever, but I promise you it's a gift. I
Yeah.
promise you, when you come through this, it'll be
Yes.
beautiful.
And
And so,
the same thing is true for you right now
absolutely,
in this moment.
absolutely.
Mm,
And I did, I was telling that story as well, which
yeah.
was powerful because I said to you, I'm fighting against my default. Like my default is to
Mhm.
go to fear because my trip is
Mhm.
switched, or my
Yep.
trip switch is flipped. And then you said, but is that your default now? And I'm like, fuck no, it's not.
Mm-mm. Old default. Go
It's a
back to that old
total
familiar place.
yes. And my new default, because I recognized it, I mean, did my brain want to go to how many places can I go here? How many creative stories can I, how many imaginary problems
Yeah.
can I fight? How many dragons can I slay that aren't real? How many monsters under my bed can I
Right.
destroy? But at the same time, I said to myself in the moment, and numerous times throughout the day, this is a gift. Where's the gift? This is going to be magical. This is going to be beautiful. This is going to shift us forward. This is a practice of growth and evolution.
Yeah.
What else is possible here? How much better can this get?
Yeah.
And so that's my new default. It was because even though my brain tried to go to the imaginary problems, I defaulted to no, not today, motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a gift. Let's look for it.
And that's huge
Where could the gift?
progress.
Oh, totally. And um, if we could all get there,
We
or if
will.
we all had support
Mm-hmm.
to help us shift,
Yeah.
I think, and maybe that's the thing. A lot of us are not comfortable enough to, or not used to coaching, right? Like when you
Mhm.
first get coached, you're like, I don't know what to share. I'm not like, and
Yeah.
I usually go into everything like
See, I
naked.
just throw up.
Yes.
I'm like, we're here to work. You want some shit?
Yeah.
Because why waste your time talking about shit that doesn't matter instead of getting to the meat of what's going on? But
Yeah.
that's me.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I would do in therapy too. Like when I was at work and I had a threat against me and I was really struggling with it. And I had seen this psychologist. I sat in and she's like, so how's it going? Well,
Let me tell you.
and I just like threw up all over her with all of my stories. And she sat there blinking, I think going, wow, my name is Kirsten, like,
Right.
I didn't give a fuck what her name was. I just needed her help.
Yeah.
And, so a lot of people are like more standoffish. But for me, I think you're there to help me
Mm-hmm.
and I'm here to grow.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no fucking point in hiding shit.
Yeah.
I have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Mm-hmm.
And if, and I love that I'm surrounded by people who either help me or who allow me to be that person for them.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Mhm.
It's the coolest thing ever.
It's the coolest fucking thing. And
On
all of
that
the
note, though,
scenarios,
we are done. We are over.
we're over time. Oh
We are
no,
way
look
over.
how fast that was.
I know. We could have gone an hour.
I know. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Sandra. And thank you for sharing with me. This was really good.
Mhm.
I appreciate today very, very
Thanks for
much.
the coaching.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.
Bye.